Hey heroes, Cap here, and today I'm diving into Jane Foster and her addition to Marvel's Avengers, what she'll bring, what kind of powers she'll have, and what kind of details they've given us so far. As we know, we're a few weeks away, not for sure on a set date just yet, but let's dive in and take a look and see how Jane Foster may work in the game. As always, be sure to smash the like, hit the subscribe for more Marvel's content. Now without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at Jane Foster. So first thing I want to look at is the blog post. Now I've already done a video breaking down the whole blog post, kind of explaining a lot of it. I want to get more into the specifics and the specifics of this paragraph right here, talking about Jane and her ability. Now it did say at first that she's a fully voiced hero, new abilities, has emotes, takedowns, nameplates, as well as some remixes of existing Thor takedowns and emotes that are more Jane specific. But what I want to focus on is her abilities that will echo Odinson's, but also that are a change in her own. And that is, first of all, the biggest one, the Intrinsic, is the All-Mother's Blessing, and her overcharge ability of God Tempest. I'm going to dive more into those in just a little bit. But her ultimate ability, which is the All Weapon, which we've seen thanks to Miller, this little leaked image here on the screen that shows the All Weapon. We know that rumor is that Mjolnir is going to fly off while she's wielding the All Weapon to use to bash enemies. But as Mjolnir is flying off, I think of it more so as like Hawkeye's Hunter Arrow, flying around, hitting enemies, applying that maybe shock status instantly to them as it's flying around and you're just destroying them with the All Weapon. So that'd be something very cool and interesting to have in the game, a different mechanic. And it also talks about her range combo. Now, one thing that I thought of with this range combo is the scene from this trailer right here, how she kind of whips around and throws pieces of Mjolnir, the Uru, at Olympians and takes them down. What if her range ability is kind of like that? She's able to shoot off pieces of Mjolnir out the hammer and we get like an animation of them coming back, or maybe the animation of them coming back would be a bit much. But it'd be a really neat feature to have, and it could instantly apply shock status effect to those enemies as you're doing it. As Thor's range is kind of him throwing the hammer, bringing it back, spinning it to pin the enemies if needed be. But it'll be very interesting to see what her range ability will be. I think taking apart Mjolnir would be really interesting. Now the biggest thing I want to talk about is her intrinsic abilities, the All-Mother's Blessing and the God Tempest. Now we know that All-Father is Odin. All-Mother, we can guess, is probably Freya if we're sticking to the MCU timelines, which in Norse mythology it's also Freya, but it was Frigga first, and they are the goddesses that are great warriors, protection. So it'll be interesting to see how that ties in. Maybe it's not as much lightning, more so as a way to keep your teammates safe, or something along those lines, maybe some kind of armor or something like that. Now it says overcharge, as if once again the intrinsic builds up to a certain way and you reach the God Tempest, which God Tempest is actually from the Marvel Universe, from 616, and it is a cosmic thunderstorm that moves throughout space and it finally reaches Asgard to attack, and Odin's able to wield it off. As he wields it off, he uses a piece of Uru to trap all of the God Tempest inside of it, this cosmic thunderstorm. He takes it to the dwarves, who form it into this little known weapon known as Mjolnir, which is how Thor gets his abilities. That explains the lightning. That's where the lightning comes from, in little pieces of Uru. So I'm hoping that they stick to that storyline. I believe this took place in 2016 when it showed up in Mighty Thor the first time, and then finally it finished in Thor of 2022. I believe they talk about it this past year in March, I want to say it was. But I'll have pictures of all those comics on screen so you can see them. But that God Tempest is what led to Mjolnir. So I wonder if that's how they're going to incorporate this Jane Foster, this kind of storytelling of Mjolnir and the Uru and where her powers come from. Ultimately, I'm super excited for this, as it could lead to, instead of a more shocking and electric, maybe some kind of cosmic abilities where her intrinsic is all cosmic powered focus, which would kind of make some of the gear that we've been getting a little bit better, as it kind of focuses on raising cosmic damage or increasing how fast you put out cosmic damage. So definitely something to take a look at and check out when Jane Foster drops in Marvel's Avengers. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. They haven't given us a set date yet, but we do know by the end of this month. So the 30th is pretty much their cutoff. Anytime until then, though, is fair game. Let me know in the comments below how excited you are for Jane Foster. What do you think of her intrinsic abilities and her heroics that she'll be getting later on in the game? As always, stay amazing, and until the next time, bye-bye.